All right, welcome to the Explainer. Sometimes the biggest stories start with the smallest things. Today, we're going to follow a thread that begins with just one single kind of dusty record, and it unspools into the surprising story connecting whole continents and musical eras.
So, let's just dive right in. This all comes from a passionate record collector, and it starts exactly how you'd imagine. Digging through a box of old vinyl at home and then bam, a memory clicks.
So what's the record? Oh, it's an absolute giant. Getz/Gilberto, the landmark 1964 Bossa Nova album. It's this incredible collaboration between the saxophonist Stan Getz and guitarist João Gilberto. And of course, it features that unforgettable, iconic voice of Astrid Gilberto on The Girl from Ipanema.
Now, here's the thing. This isn't just any old copy of the album. Nope. What our collector found was a really specific U.S. pressing from 1965. It's what's called a Capitol Record Club edition. I mean, think about that. A mail-order-only version. It's a true physical artifact from a totally different time in music.
And because it's this special edition, collectors are all over it. So a copy in decent shape, it can easily go for over 10,000 yen online. That's about $100. We're talking about a genuinely valuable piece of vinyl here.
Okay, so this is where it gets a little weird. This is the mystery, right? Our collector knew the record was valuable, so why was the price tag he remembered paying at the record store so low, like shockingly low? The price he paid? Get this, just 880 yen. That's, less than a tenth of what it's worth? There had to be a catch. There's always a catch, right?
And yep, you guessed it, there was a catch. And the reason for that crazy bargain price? Well, it becomes pretty obvious the second you flip the record over to side B.
The record had something called vinyl burn. You'll see the Japanese term for it there. It's this nasty chemical damage, usually happens when it's stored in the wrong kind of plastic sleeve for decades. It literally etches itself into the grooves. It's a permanent scar, and it leaves behind this loud, awful, crackling noise you just can't get rid of.
So yeah, side B was pretty much a disaster. That horrible noise kicks in right smack in the middle of Stan Getz's incredible solo on So Danso Samba, a real heartbreaker. But, and this is a big but, side A, the side with the girl from Ipanema, it was perfect. Absolutely flawless. So for 880 yen, I mean, come on, that's still an absolute steal.
Okay, but here's where this gets really cool. Let's forget the damage for a second, because we got to talk about how this specific record actually sounds. The pressing itself, it just has this unique character.
So if you compare it to, say, the modern digital versions, on CD or streaming, those can sound a little clean, maybe even a bit thin. But this 1965 vinyl, oh man, it's got this incredibly rich, full-bodied sound. You really hear it in Stan Getz's saxophone. It just sounds, warmer, thicker. It's got so much more presence. And that specific sound, really gets to the core magic of this album. The story goes that João Gilberto was getting super frustrated in the studio because Getz wasn't a bossa nova purist. He didn't play it right. But that's the whole point. It was that exact friction, that dialogue between Getz's cool American West Coast jazz style and the pure Brazilian rhythm. That's what created this brand new, sophisticated sound that just took over the entire planet. And you know what? That idea, that concept of one culture reinterpreting another, that's what brings this whole story hurtling across the decades and right back to Japan, where our collector is standing there holding this American record.
So this connection, it's like a bridge. It links the original album from 1964 all the way to the year 2013 with the release of this really special 50th anniversary tribute album. It was called Getz/Gilberto plus 50, and interestingly, it was a Japan-exclusive release. And this tribute album had an incredible lineup of amazing Japanese artists. We're talking singers like Tokiya Sako and Tomoyo Harada, the legend Haruomi Hasano, and then a name that kind of makes you do a double take in this context, the one and only Ryuichi Sakamoto, right? So you have to ask, why was Ryuichi Sakamoto, a guy known for his pioneering electronic music, his incredible film scores,
Why was he playing piano on a bossa nova tribute album? Well, as it turns out, it wasn't random at all, not even close. It was actually the result of a much deeper journey he'd taken into bossa nova years before.
And that one performance just unravels this whole beautiful chain of connections. See, his spot on that 2013 tribute was really a reunion with the cellist Jacques Morellenbaum. They had this incredible partnership that went back to the early 2000s, when they, along with Jacques' wife, Paula, formed a trio. And together, they released this celebrated album called Casa. It was this just stunning tribute to the music of the original bossa nova master himself, Antonio Carlos Jobim.
And just like that, a journey that kicked off with a cheap, damaged American record sitting in a collection in Japan, it suddenly reveals this incredible hidden web of musical respect, a story that spans generations, continents, and genres, all from one record.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? What kind of hidden connections are just waiting to be discovered in your own record collection, or even just tucked away in your favorite streaming playlists? And I think that's the big takeaway from this explainer. Sometimes the most fascinating stories are hiding right there in plain sight.